Deuteronomy chapter 33 and verse 16. And for the precious things of the earth, the fullness thereof, and for the goodwill of him that dwell in the bush, let the blessing come upon the head of Joseph.
So this is talking about Ephraim and Manasseh. It's talking about northern kingdom. Come on.
And upon the top of the head of him that was separated from his brethren, his glory is like the firstling of his bullock.
It says the glory of Joseph. Now I want you to think, I said Ephraim and Manasseh. Who are the Ephraim and Manasseh today? The Puerto Ricans and Cubans, right? It says their glory is like the firstlings of the bullock. Very special and precious. Come on.
And his horns are like the horns of unicorns.
It says their leaders are like the rhinoceros. So it's not talking about a fake imaginary creature. Come on, I know it's cold. I'm gonna keep going.
With them he shall push the people together to the ends of the earth.
It says with Ephraim and Manasseh, he was gonna push a certain nation of people to the ends of the earth. Everybody started in the east. How did everybody get to America? Do you know? You know your history? Your rich history? I'll tell you right quick. Give me 2 Esdras 13. 2 Esdras 13 verse 40. It said that Ephraim and Manasseh will push a certain nation. It'll push the Latinas. Ephraim and Manasseh will lead these people to the ends of the earth. Right. Everybody started in the east. How did y'all get over here? We're going to read it now in this history book.
2 Esdras chapter 13 and verse 40. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoner out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanasar, king of Assyria, led away captives.
Go ahead.
And he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land.
It says they came into another land. So Hosea the king, under Hosea the king, in that time period, these tribes, Ephraim, I want you to look at this. Ephraim, Manasseh, Simeon, Zebulun, Gad, Reuben, Asher, and your tribe, Issachar, was led captive into another land. Did y'all just stay in captivity in another land? Watch this.
Verse 41. But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen.
It says Ephraim and Manasseh led the charge to take a counsel to leave the multitude of the people that in the east country. Come on.
And go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt.
It says that your tribe will go into a land where never mankind dwelt. Y'all were the first inhabitants of Mexico. Y'all were the first inhabitants of Mexico.
Right.
Same thing with Ephraim. They call themselves, they are called Puerto Ricans because their conquerors called the land Port of Riches.
Right.
It's a rich port. So we're going to call these people Puerto Ricans. But they refer to themselves as Taino Indians, Puerto Ricans.
Right.
The Mexicans. Y'all were the Aztec Indians.
That's right.
Y'all were the Aztecs. Before y'all called yourself Mexican. Y'all changed your name so much, but God called y'all Issachar. And y'all came to inhabit this land where never mankind dwelt. Come on.
Verse 42, that they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept.
Why did they come here?
That they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept.
No, before y'all were called Mexicans, y'all were the tribe of Issachar, and the reason y'all came here is to keep the commandments of God that y'all wasn't able to keep in another land.
Right.
As captives, you understand? Oh, look at this side right here. I know it's cold, but God gonna prevail. God gonna prevail today. We gonna keep reading. What do you think? Why do Aztec Indians, the Mayans, the Taino Indians, the Native Americans, why do they wear garments like this? What was their culture before they was enslaved as a people in 1492 by the conquistadors? This was their culture. Our women wore glorious dresses with fringes because that was our culture. That was the commandments that y'all couldn't keep in the other land. We're going to keep reading. Watch this one.
Verse 43, and they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow passage of the river, for the Most High then showed signs for them, and held still the flood, until they passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely a year and a half.
It took y'all a year and a half to get over here. Thank the Lord, he's bringing out the sun.
And the same region is called Arsaret.
This land was called Arsaret that y'all came to. This land right here The Americas. The Americas. Now, do you understand so far your rich history? It's just even a small portion. It's a small portion. Watch this.
Verse 32, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
In 1492, Christopher Columbus, you remember him? That demon who put all of our brothers and sisters in slavery and killed them, who gave them Catholicism and killed anybody who didn't accept the white version of Jesus. I want you to look at this. Read it one more time for our sister.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
Wasn't our sons and daughters given to the so-called white man in 1492? That's who gave. What's your last name? Canitas. Where do we get the last name? Where did you think you got that last name? Where do you think you got it from? Was our last names Cornelius in old time? No. Our last names were Israel. We surnamed ourselves Israel. Where do you think they got the name Hernandez, Cortez, Rodriguez, give me another one. Sanchez.
Fernando.
Huh? Say it again.
Fernando Cortez.
Fernando, yes. Where do you get these names from? You got them from these people who enslaved us.
That's right.
We never called ourselves those names.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look, and thou with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand.
We would have no power to get our kids back once they took them as slaves. You see how they persecuted us with the sword? These curses only fit a certain nation of people. You understand? The Israelites.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
Remember, y'all came over here to keep the commandments of God that y'all wasn't able to keep before. But since we don't want to serve God, because when y'all came over here, you see this? We started worshiping sun gods. We built these temples to worship other gods. You understand? And we started sacrificing our kids. So God said, since you want to come over here, northern kingdom of Israel, you tribe of Issachar, you Puerto Ricans, you Cubans, you Mexicans, whatever you want to call yourself now, since you don't want to serve God in joyfulness and gladness and truth,
therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
You're going to serve your enemies.
That's right.
These people right here. And they're going to give you last names. They're going to give you markets, stores. They're going to give you everything to stray you away from keeping the commandments of God. Come on.
Which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger.
When you want food, you have to go. Do we own any stores? And if we think we own the stores, who do we have to pay taxes to? Who own our grocery markets? You know, you're supposed to go into Stop and Go, right? Who owns those stores? The government, yes. The government. Because if you don't pay taxes, they're taking your building as assets, right?
Therefore shalt thou serve the Lord. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst.
When you want water, who you have to get your water from? Another nation of people. We can't go amongst ourselves and get water. Mexico has beaches. Why can't we get water that's freely not boiling ourselves without being persecuted by the government? Because God sent an enemy, these people against us, to control our water reserves. A beautiful place, a beautiful vacation spot that we can't even control. Come on.
And in nakedness.
When you want clothes, who do you have to get your clothes from? You got Calvin on. Calvin Klein. Who do we get that from, sis? Myra? We get it from other people, right? I know it's called. I know. The word of God.
And in nakedness, and in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
You see this right here? You see this? He's a yoke. Read it again for us.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
You'll start calling yourself, say your last name again. Ramirez, sorry. You'll call yourself Ramirez, but you'll never call yourself Israel. They will give you names, they will give you water, food, and clothing, anything to separate you from God. And what we have here to do, sis, I pray you can come to the church today. I pray you can make it to the church today. What we have here to do is to give you what they've taken away from us. We might not have our own food, water, clothes, but God allowed us to keep this Bible. You understand? Read verse 49.
The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth.
Remember, y'all came over here into the Americas to keep the commandments where y'all wasn't able to keep them before. But the Lord was going to send them from the east country, from Europe, to bring us as captives, as slaves, and give us their last names. To tell us that just because our skin pigment is a little bit darker, we're not family. I'm trying to talk to my brothers the other day, just because they gave you a language that separates us.
If I had a choice of where I want to be,
You can see me running to the battleground.
front line, first infantry.
I wanna be the first one there to get down.
I would die on a daily.
I'm coming up to sacrifice me right now.
Put me in the army of the Most High. Put me in the army of the Most High. Milk dripping from my cheek, but I put down the rattle, for thou was girding me with strength for the battle. God.
The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flying.
He said, look, what nation of people have a symbol that's an eagle? You ever seen a mail truck? What sign is on that? Yeah. What bird is on that? Get out. What's the center? Watch it, sis.
Bring it out. Bring it out.
Look at this, sis.
There you go.
Look at this. Walk her from the wind, please. I know it's cold, sis. Bear with us, yo. We love you and we're trying to give you the word of God, yo.
The eagle.
Yes. Read it again for my sister.
And the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flying.
What?
As swift as the eagle flying.
God said he's going to bring a nation against us that use the symbol of the eagle. Now I want you to look at this, sis. In the Greeks, what did they use on their coins? What is that?
Is that a goat?
Look at that. What is this right here? You about to go spend their money right now. What you got on your quarter? What's on the back of your dollar?
That's right.
You see that eagle? They always use the eagle. Read it again for us.
And the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flying.
God said, I'm going to let you know who your enemies are. They're going to put you in captivity, give you their last names, give you a language to separate your brothers, and I'm going to give them a coin and a symbol so you'll always know them. He put it on the back of the dollar so you know who your enemies is. We're not enemies. Even if I don't speak the language, we're still brothers and sisters. Thus saith the Lord. Come on.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
We didn't understand Spanish. I know our brothers and sisters in Mexico, Puerto Rico, so on and so forth, like to think that Spanish was their original language. It wasn't.
Right.
What do you think it wasn't? What was it? What is it? It wasn't Latin. Latin was their language.
That's right.
Look at them. Look at them. All the flags, all the precious white people. That was their language.
Right.
Latin,
Spaniards.
Spanish, the Greek language, they all spoke the same thing, Latin. We spoke Hebrew.
Right.
Or like people like to say ancient Aramaic. You understand? And we understood each other well. But now they separate us with language barriers. They tell us that, no, you're not as dark as them. Y'all not family. When at once upon a time we were all the same color. They might vary in shades, but it's okay.
Verse 50. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young.
They didn't care if you was old or young. Where's the other sign at again? Alright, look at this. Keep that sign right there so she'll be cold. I want you to look at this. Israel, man, they got men, women, children. They didn't care if you were young or old.
Right.
That's how the deep-rooted hatred is for this people. They hate us so much, they didn't care what age or language. They didn't care about nothing.